Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the What Pentagram podcast, and I am one of your hosts, Mecha Pony, and the other host,
Virgil
is
48.
more of a host than I am, but I do the intro, so fuck off.
I only do every other piece of work involving the company.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's
I do the art and the intro. I'm way more important. That's why I go first.
Alright, not to get all bitchy, but this is something I was going to bring up after the podcast. How much art have you actually done, Colin? I love you to death, but we've only got the logo. That's what I thought. So, coming to you for the week of March 2nd, 2014. Put some perspectives. This is podcast 2. We got some interesting shit going on in the world.
It's not March 2nd.
I know, March 2nd was the Monday. We don't tell them what day we're doing it, so they don't understand exactly how outdated it is. They just know it was filmed this week. We don't have to tell them it was filmed on Thursday. At 3:25 p.m. in the afternoon.
They just heard it.
Oh. Fuck it. We're already going. So, some interesting things happening this week. Let's start off with the thing everyone's been talking about. Apple, this week, released another trash can. Now, I usually use trash can as a derogatory term to describe, like, regular Macs and stuff, just because I don't like them. But I wouldn't say literally, but they almost literally released a trash can this past 2 weeks. The Mac Pro.
It does kind of look like a trash can, but I think... I haven't actually seen the system specs, but I think the idea of having a circular, round, like, computer thing would be kind of good. Like, it'd be more convenient to, like, store and move around than, like, an actual desktop.
Here we go.
Kind of like the same theory behind the Steam box, except the Steam box is for gaming and the Mac is for heretics. But, you know... If you want to use that GarageBand, you can use a trash can.
It's funny.
Quite literally.
It's funny because we're going to need to get a Mac at some point to do all the editing. We're going to need to do it for the next, 3 years.
Why can't we do it on a PC?
Because the PC audio editing software sucks.
Just get different software.
Yeah, but that stuff costs a lot of money.
So will the Mac!
Nah, it won't cost as much.
Yeah.
In the long run, no, it won't. After paying people to come fix the software, for us, no, it won't. Alright, so everyone's been talking about the, we're being sarcastic, of course. I'm sure most people are just talking about the fact this trash can. The specs are interesting. Between $3,000 and $4,000, though. It's a lot of money. It's outside of my budget by about $3,000 to $4,000.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come with a screen, it looks like. Which is another $300 at least.
The specs aren't that great for, the price. It's only got 12 gigabytes.
Of ECC memory. You can pay $1,000 more for 16 gigs.
It's, which comes standard on a $1,000 gaming computer.
Yeah. 256 gig PC-based flash storage. That's a little better. The storage itself doesn't change from the price. You figure if you're going to bump the price by $1,000, actually, the 3001 is 3.7 gigahertz quad core Intel, I think, Exxon ES processor, right? The $4,000 one, 3.5 gigahertz. So you go down as the price goes up. I don't know what Apple's doing there. That could be a typo, but if it's not...
Well, I think that the lower you go in the hertz, the better it is.
Is it, though? I don't know what that is. Windows on the Mac Pro. Alright, I would buy that.
I think so, because hertz is like the measurement of frequency and wavelength that, the system runs at.
Yeah.
So the lower it is, the faster it would go.
Where'd it go? So, I found this Mac Pro Volle Grafikstang nur unter Windows möglich. So apparently that means Windows is not on the Mac. No shit, Germany. No shit. Really. Never would have been able to figure that out on my own, guys. Your help is appreciated, but unwarranted.
Fucking Germans, man. I love Germans. I am German. By 20%.
So some other interesting things going on in the news. We got this big Ukraine incident. So everyone knows about the Ukraine incident. So we looked it up in the Yahoo News, and the most relevant article we could find. Ready for this? Ukraine 2, US MNT 0, International Friendly Match Recap. So Ukraine...
It's football!
Ukraine, this is the biggest tragedy that's going on right now. Ukraine beat the US in soccer. Football. That's just unacceptable, America.
The U.S., the easiest team to beat in soccer.
Regardless, considering the fact that they only have like 3 tanks for an army, we should have been able to kick their ass till the next moon.
You don't understand. It's soccer. We don't even call it by the proper term, which is football.
Yeah. We should call it gridiron.
Because, you use your feet to kick the ball. Unlike in our football, where you kick the ball once during, the entire game.
It's not time for Colin Explain Sports yet. We should call football gridiron. How much more badass does gridiron sound than football?
A lot more.
Why don't we call football gridiron?
Because people are fucking stupid.
I forgot about that. So, obviously, we're, again, joking. The big tragedy right now is not the Ukraine.
But we're not going to talk about that.
I mean, there might be another world war. We might get drafted.
I'm going to abstain. I'm going to become Quaker.
Eric's going to break his leg by going skiing down, the most dangerous slope on the planet. I'm like, Eric, there's 30 different ways to break your leg. You pick the one that will get you killed. Just shoot yourself. It's so much faster. Now, I know...
Or just become a Quaker.
I mean, that's not cheap, though. Look, with my lifestyle, I'd have to, kill every Quaker I see. It'd be a problem. Where are your pens? Vamp. Vamp. Vamp.
They can't hear you.
Vamp. Yes, they can. They can hear everything. The internet knows everything, Colin. Sorry, Ukraine, Macro. Alright. So, Bitcoin giant Mt. Gox files for bankruptcy after possible $500 million lost to hacking. So there was a heist on the internet. Not really sure how that would work. Put the money in the bag. I'm talking to a computer. Shit.
Put the money in the file folder. Do it.
None of this funny stuff. No cookies.
No zip files either. I ain't extracting that shit.
So this just reinforces
direct download.
Direct download. I want it on a flash drive. I don't want the flash drive in a box. I want the box in another box. I want the box mailed to the United States of America. In Mexico. So they lost $500 million to hacking in Bitcoin. I don't know what that would be in Bitcoin. I'm too lazy to look it up, especially because the Bitcoin conversion rate is all over the fucking place. This just reinforces the rant that will never come out that I had about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not
because the house lit on fire when he talked about it.
I mean, I'm sure that was just a freak coincidence. To be fair, we weren't really good with the
No, we forgot to open the flue.
Yeah, we suck. So, Bitcoin, it's a nice idea in theory, but it's not government regulated. It's just, there are too many problems that could arise from it. I'm not entirely against it. I'd love an only online currency that isn't, credit-based, that, I can use anywhere on the internet outside of this country that's, internationally the same. One Bitcoin is the same everywhere as opposed to, $9 US here is $10 US in Canada and shit like that. But the Bitcoin conversion rate, I found 2 different sources recently. One of them told me it was $500 US is 1 Bitcoin. The other one told me it was $200 is a 1 Bitcoin. Regardless, Mt. Gox lost a ton of shit. Colin, you know what Mt. Gox is?
No.
Magic the Gathering something exchange. Online exchange. That's what it stands for. Mt. Gox is not an actual mountain. It's a building in Japan.
Wait, look that up.
I'm not joking. I'll look it up right now.
Look that shit up.
Vamp. Mt. Gox. Oh, sweet. MountGox.com. They filed for bankruptcy and their website's still up? Man, they're way ahead of where we are. we still don't have a website.
There. I'm patting him on the shoulder.
Bitcoin exchange based in Tokyo, Japan. Come on. since this won't load. Oh, yeah, that loaded in 10 seconds. Where'd it go? History, domain name, Mt. Gox founding, trading incidents.
It says it was a Bitcoin exchange based in Tokyo.
God damn it, this other one was a virus, wasn't it? You whore! Shit. This could be an issue.
Huh.
Oh, I got rid of it. It just wasn't loading. Magic the Gathering online service. And then the X is exchange. MountGox.com.
Okay.
That makes sense. So Magic the Gathering online exchange. And I just thought it was interesting because Sam's a huge fan of Magic the Gathering, and he's also a huge fan of Bitcoin. He talked about it for a while. He doesn't talk about it too much anymore because all the problems that are popping up. But I just thought it was funny how like one of the things he loves looks down another thing that he loves.
The things that he loves are just like they both have battle axes and are going at each other.
That happened to me. I had a fish who was like mugged by 3 of my brother's fish. Not even joking. I had 1 fish in a tank, and my brother had like 8. And we came down one morning, and he was just in the like water, and there was like blood all around him. And I was like, motherfucker. And my dad didn't do it. He's too lazy to kill like fish and shit. My mom didn't do it because that just wouldn't make sense. My brother didn't do it because I don't think he understands the concept of death. And I didn't do it because why the fuck would I kill my own goddamn fish? And we eventually figured out later because then a couple other fish died too. Like the fish started to turn on each other. It was messed up.
Did you feed them properly?
Yes, of course.
How big was the tank?
It was like pretty big. We didn't have big fish. We had small fish, like that big. Right. I know the audience can't see. They're small fish, like fish. So
yeah, that
our
helps.
yeah, it's fish. All right, so just gonna put this out there. So we are starting the work process on the Team Wiggly Chronicles, the Wiggly Chronicles, whatever we're calling it, and the estimated countdown. We're estimated putting the first episode out July 5th this year. So we have a countdown going. That'll be up on our website when we finally have one. 17 weeks, 2 days, 3 hours, 22 minutes, and 52 seconds from this moment in time. So all you who want to figure out exactly when we were recording the podcast or weren't listening earlier on in the podcast, there's some math. Go be nerds.
Yay!
Go fly away, nerds. Be free.
Fly, my pretties, fly!
What's that from?
Are you cereal, bro?
Yeah.
Are you cereal?
Oh, I know. It's from what's that movie? Bambi.
Are you cereal, bro?
Yeah, like the mother doe was like, "Hey, birds, fly
From
the
the
fuck
Wizard
away."
of Oz.
I know that. I'm just fucking with you guys. I'm not that uncultured. Oh, I know who that is. Offline today, Wednesday. Well, that's not helpful, John. All right, so we got some pretty interesting other things going around.
Can I add a new segment?
Go for it. Talk about whatever you want.
Okay. I've been wanting to start this segment that that I got the idea from the Co-optional podcast over on Polaris, which is like the podcast that I follow the most because I like watch all those guys. So I wanted to do a thing where we go around the table and ask what games we've been playing this week, or what movies we've been watching, or what TV shows we've been watching. You know, stuff like that. And I wanted to start off by saying that I replayed Bastion the whole way through, and it's such a good game. Such a good game. Oh, it's so good. And I also played Guild Wars 2, a lot of Guild Wars 2. I'm up to level 70. So I've only got 10 more levels until I'm at cap, and I can, sit in the big city and do nothing because there's no endgame content.
So, I haven't been playing any games recently because, reasons we're not going to get into. I almost put my knife through my Xbox over the weekend. I was just so mad. I might do it next weekend. I'm going to just be like, fuck it. My dad's not letting me go to John's house if I don't have my eco project started by Saturday. It's alright, I don't know anything about going over to John's house this weekend. He hasn't sent any information out, so
Yeah.
That's part of our personal lives. We're getting together, having some fun over at a friend's house. But you guys probably know him. But I did watch recently. I watched 3 movies recently that I bought off of iTunes. I watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World again a couple times.
Yes.
Good movie. Good movie.
It's my favorite movie.
I watched Zombieland like 4 or 5 times.
It's like all the movies with that kid in it.
And then I brought this movie, The Grey. Stars Liam Neeson. Fucking amazing movie. I've watched that maybe 12 times now. I'm watching it again with a friend on the bus in the mornings, and it's a phenomenal movie. Don't watch the trailers. Just go see the movie. Like, just go on iTunes, buy the movie, or rent the movie, whatever. Just go do it. Don't look at the trailers. Just watch it. It's a great movie.
Are they one of those trailers that like says the whole movie in the trailer?
I'm pretty sure it shows the exact last scene of the movie, like the literal last second of the movie in the trailer.
I hate those. It's just like, great, now I know what the whole movie is. I don't have to go watch it. Thank you. It's like, whatever happened to those like movie trailers where it was just like, in a world where people fuck shit up. Whatever happened to those?
I don't know. Alright, don't look at what I'm typing, so I'm going to talk about something real fast. So, we've been talking, now you guys may know I'm a fan of Halo and stuff. I love Halo, and a while ago we speculated on what game was coming out this year, and I think our big guess was like Halo 5 was coming out this year. I think we talked about it like it was coming out. There was leaked information that implies the game coming out this year is a Halo 2 remake. I'm super pumped for that, because a lot of good maps that they didn't remake in 4, they're going to remake in the remake of 2. If that made any sense. I'm super happy about it, because then I can like finally play Halo 2 again.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
That reminds me, the remaster of that. There's another remaster that's coming out actually this month that I just pre-ordered like 2 nights ago. The remastered edition of Final Fantasy X. Suck it, Jason! I pre-ordered it first!
I know what I just said to you, Colin, doesn't blow your mind, but to any Halo fan out there who who hasn't seen the leaked stuff, this just blew their mind. Like, I found out 3 days ago, and it blew my mind.
Isn't like Halo 2 considered like the best one?
I personally think 3 and ODST are the best, but 2 is definitely up there. 2 had the best score of any of the games. I will give them that. And it was a very dark game, like both, like literally, like dark. There were a lot of actually dark levels. You had to use the flashlight and stuff. And it was very innovative. They introduced a lot of new things. They changed some stuff up. There was dual wielding for like the last time ever, as far as I'm concerned, in that game. I think there was some dual wielding in 3. I can't remember. I haven't played that game in a while. But it's such a good game. You know, I'm excited. I really hope it comes out for the 360. I'm gonna be pissed if it comes out just for the Xbox One. I'll buy an Xbox One just to play that.
Wow. All right.
And I dislike the Xbox One greatly. I would buy an Xbox One to play the Halo 2 remake.
I've heard that's actually really good for watching Netflix.
Yeah, the Microsoft systems are really good for watching Netflix and like Hulu and stuff. And Skype, they really integrated those very much so. The Xbox One looked more like a computer than a gaming console. Because it was like Skype and TV and Hulu and Netflix, like all this stuff. It really wanted to integrate a lot of not new ideas. It wanted to upgrade a lot of old ideas, make them look new. And
just integrate them into an old platform for selling stuff.
They wanted to make it better. They already have done that in the 360, but they kind of bundled it more with this. Like they kind of put it out there. So this, Colin, this might just confuse you, but several other people I know are going to be pretty fucking confused. Maybe a little angry, maybe surprised. There's a Minecraft movie in the works at Warner Brothers. And this is not just some, like, random leak or whatever. Notch leaked it. Notch is the guy. One comment. There's one comment on this.
Yeah, and the article just said what I was going to say, that they're supposing that this is coming out because of the success of the Lego movie. That's what I was going to say. That's what other people have been saying.
Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like.
I mean, when we think about it, right? The Lego games, if you take the plot out of the Lego games, that's Minecraft with better graphics. Like the Lego games, like if you just made a real-life Lego game, it would be Minecraft. Sort of. If you played as a Lego character, let's say we bring all the Legos to life, right? Minecraft is now Lego. Or Lego's now Minecraft, like either one. So, like, just a huge success of a Lego movie would mean that, like, a similar movie would do just as well.
In theory, but Minecraft isn't as nostalgic as Legos are. I mean, there are a lot of people that like Minecraft, but...
There are a lot of people who are obsessed with Minecraft.
But there are a lot better... But there are already a shitload of YouTube, like, movies on YouTube that use the Minecraft engine that just machinimate it. So what's the difference going to be with this?
I mean, there are a lot of movies on YouTube that use the Halo engine to machinimate it. Tons of people watch the Forward Unto Dawn series, and...
yeah, but that was live action. This isn't. This is using
How do we know it's
the
not live
engine.
action? Where in here does it say it's going to be, not live action? It could be live action. We don't know.
How the hell would they...
Hey, I don't know how they would do it. I'm saying it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's a likely one. I'm saying it's
Yes,
possible.
but if you still correlate the Lego movie and the Minecraft movie together, they used actual Legos, so it would stand to figure that they'd want to use the aesthetic of Minecraft in order to go forward with this.
That's a good point. I don't know. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see for more information to develop. So that's very exciting. So, Minecraft movie coming out, Halo 2 remake. I'm very excited about those. I'll have stuff to do at the end of the year. So, I want to talk about something funny that happened to me in school the other day. You'll find this kind of humorous. It's a bit of a love story, but whatever. So, I got to give a little background, right? So, I take Italian. I'm an Italian 2 now, something like that. So, we were taking a test a couple days ago, and it's me. I'm on the left side of the room. I'm the second seat on the left side of the room. The kid who sits in front of me, his name is also Dylan. So we're D squared. That's a funny joke. When we bring Dylan on, you'll understand. Like, the audience will understand. Everyone will understand. We have D squared shirts that are currently in production. 2 of them, but if they go over well, if they look good, we might put them into marketing and stuff, and we might mass produce them. That'd be really nice. And so I was raising my hand because I wanted to hand my test in to Miss T. She's our Italian teacher. And this kid on the opposite side of the room, his name is Rob. And me and other Dylan, D squared and Rob are constantly competing for Miss T's attention and be her favorite student and shit. And he kept raising his hand, and I kept raising my hand. And Dylan's like, "Why are you raising your hand?" I'm like, "I want to hand in my test." So Dylan finishes his test, and she's going around helping other people, and she doesn't notice me or Rob. So she's going around helping people, and everyone has questions and stuff. So Dylan eventually gets fed up with me having my hand up, and he takes my test and he hands it in. I'm like, "Aw, shucks." I can't fight with Rob anymore because me and him were raising our hands higher and stuff, and we were making a joke out of it. And then I thought to myself, I can still fuck with Rob. There's no reason for me to stop. So I raised my hand again, and maybe 10 minutes later, she walked past his desk and just didn't see him with his hands raised. She comes back around to the other side of the room. She goes, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Hi." She's like, "Dylan!" And Rob's on the other side of the room. He's pissed off. He's like, Took her another 5 minutes to get around to him. It was hilarious. I was just sitting there laughing the whole 5 minutes. She finally gets over there and she answers his question. And she looks over. She's like, "Why are you laughing?" I'm like, "Can't explain it." It was really fun. It was kind of a you had to be there moment, but at the same time.
Nah, it sounds pretty funny.
Butts.
Cat face.
Oh, okay. That's apparently on the topic of things to talk about.
So butts, guys. Butts.
This thing tastes like dog shit. And I'm really more of a cat person myself. I can't take credit for that. That was from a movie. The Gray. Go see it. Are you designing the D squared?
Yes. I got inspiration.
I could probably still send it to David and have him do it this way. His equipment broke. So it'll be a while. David's our so we hired some new people. So we've got me and Colin, we're the hosts, and we're the co-owners of what Pentagram Productions or some shit. WPP. I'm pretty sure WPP is already an abbreviation. Fun fact of the day, and Colin, you're gonna think this is hilarious. Do you know 10% of Americans think that HTML is an STD? we are not ready for the
That is so goddamn. I'm laughing more so because it's so stupid, but it is kind of funny in an immature way as well.
Yeah, people are stupid. So it's me and Colin. AJ's our like audio editing guy. He's going to be taking care of the live streams. He puts stuff on YouTube. Eventually, he'll probably be working with another guy to put stuff on the website. I hired Rob recently. He says he can help us out with the website, so we're going to work with him, sort of like his internship, to see if he can actually do it. If he can pull through, I see no reason why not to bring him on board. And then I hired David recently. He makes T-shirts in his garage, and he makes apparently really good ones. So he's making me a D squared shirt, and if it comes out the way I want it to, or better, he's on board. Especially, he's making me two samples, which is very nice of him. He's not charging me anything, not even like a little for like the cover of the T-shirts or whatever. Super nice. I think he could do it probably for a lot cheaper than us going out and buying a printing press.
Yeah.
Especially because we're not going to need to mass produce them at first.
Yeah.
Oh, we probably should address another issue. Now, if you've listened to, like, some of our older stuff, which will hopefully be up on the website soon, and if you've listened to, like, I don't know, last week's podcast, or episode 1, you know that usually it's not just me and Colin, right? There hasn't been just me and Colin since the -1 and -2 days. Well, we had people to bring on, but they all bailed on us. We were going to bring Ian on, so you guys can meet Ian, but Ian, something came up. When he got home, something crazy came up, and he couldn't make it, which is a shame. It would be really cool to have Ian here, but he's not. Rest in peace. No, I'm joking. Nobody died.
Celestia, bless his soul.
Colin, did you ever have an imaginary friend when you were a kid?
Yes, I did. Do you remember those Bionicle things that were like the balls? They rolled up into the balls?
Yes, I remember
those things. I had one of those as my imaginary friend, and he would just like roll around the place, and he was a snarky asshole.
I had one. She was I guess I would have thought she was invisible. I don't remember much about her. I called her Pretend Jessica. I have no idea why the fuck I did that. She was apparently invisible or some shit. I don't remember much about her. All I remember is she ended by getting run over by a cement truck.
Oh.
Thank you, Bill Watterson, for the wonderful idea. He writes the Calvin Hobbes comic books. He gave me that idea from one of the books that he wrote. It was great.
So you murdered your imaginary friend on a whim.
Yep.
I let mine go free, like into a prairie filled with grass, to go live out in the wild with his imaginary ways.
So you threw him out in your backyard. Shh. That's all I heard. There's this,
No, I sent him to Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
I remember that being a building.
Yes. And there was a grassy field in the front yard of that building.
I'll take your word for it. I have never been there, so... There's this great show called Modern Family, and it didn't look like my type of show, and I was watching an episode, and there's this earthquake, right? And this cabinet almost falls on this little kid, and he's like, I'm getting out of here before I get hurt. And he turns around and runs straight in a wall. And that's like, alright, I'm gonna watch this show just to see it. And he's there's like, he centers around like 3 families, and one of the families lives next to this neighbor.
Well, they're all like one family.
Yeah, like one of the sub-families or whatever has, their neighbor has a dog, and the dog won't stop barking, and the wife sends it, like kidnaps it and sends it to like her cousins or whatever on a farm out in like the middle of nowhere, and her husband's asking like, what did you do with it? And she goes, he's in a better place now. And he goes, that's the first thing people say when something's died. She goes, he's on a nice, large farm, lots of rolling hills, so he can be happy and free. He goes, that's the second thing people say when something has died. And I don't know, I thought that was funny. It's a good show. Like, it surprised me how much I liked that show. And
I like it on one basis, and that one basis alone. It doesn't have a laugh track.
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
That's a pretty good reason.
It's like my favorite sitcom would probably be Big Bang Theory, because, you know, it talks about a lot of nerdy shit. If it weren't for that goddamn laugh track.
My physics teacher apparently hates the Big Bang Theory. I gotta ask him about that.
I mean, find out why. Some of their jokes are kind of stupid too, but
I just wonder, like, is all their science correct? I'm sure most of it is, but I'm wondering, like, did he see an episode where, like, it was just something was blatantly wrong, or they give the wrong idea about something? I'm curious. I want to see what his take is on it. He's a very smart guy. I asked him to explain the physics in The Gray. I'm gonna spoil a bit of it, so if you don't want to hear about the grade, I'll skip forward. Like
Spoilers!
Alert.
Spoilers.
So there's this scene in The Gray where one of the guys jumps off a cliff, and he's got a bunch of jackets and shit tied to him. And so I was talking to Mr. Mogilski, he's my math physics teacher, and I'm like, Mr. M, like, have you seen The Gray? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, what would happen if, like, the thing happened? Like, what would that work in real life? And he explained to me the physics behind it. And it was very interesting. We had a pretty good, like, 2-minute conversation about it. And we deemed that, while it's not probable that that would work in real life, it is possible. So don't jump off of cliffs and shit. That really should be a no-brainer. Let me go look at my cut. So we should probably talk about what I was doing before the podcast. Holy shit, that
doesn't actually look any worse than before.
Yeah, it actually doesn't. I don't know, I was just surprised by the blood on the Band-Aid. I was throwing my knife in a tree.
The blood was there before when you took it off the first time.
I know.
You should leave it on.
No.
That'll help.
Maybe. I'll change it before I go. Hopefully I can just take it off. But I was throwing my knife in a tree, and I held my knife too hard up the handle, and when I threw it, it slashed into my skin. I left a bit of a mark. And by mark, I mean cut. It hurt a lot in the beginning, like just before we started, but it's
by
fine now.
cut, he's profusely bleeding all over the floor right now.
Yeah, it's just my hand.
But instead of, like, calling the ambulance, we decided, he came here to do the podcast. He might die in the ambulance anyway, so if he's gonna die, might as well get this over with, right?
Yeah.
He's a trooper.
We only have another hour to record this anyway, so, like, we might as well get these in. I can...
So, we're full of shit, by the way. He's fine.
Yeah, I am fine. No, you'll find out next week when I come back. I'm fine. But so I was watching this movie, and these two guys talking. And this guy's trying to persuade this other guy to come out of retirement. And the other guy's like, "Well, I can sleep late, and I got all these roses and shit, gardening." And his friend's like, "Sleeping and roses sounds fine, but you can sleep when you're in your coffin, and roses will look really nice on it. I think you should come back and help me." That movie was 42. That was a great movie. Fucking baseball, dude. That movie was, I'm not a big fan of, like, baseball movies. Stop trying to cut your goddamn finger off!
But it's fun.
Nobody likes an attention whore.
Oh.
So, I'm not really a big fan of baseball movies, or a lot of movies for that matter. It takes a lot for me to really like a movie. And I thoroughly enjoyed 42. It was...
Was that the one where
Jackie
it was,
Robinson.
like, the guy... No,
Robinson.
I'm thinking of, like, a manager. Never mind.
Maybe? It wasn't about the manager. Alan Tudyk plays a character in it. He plays the Phillies manager, I think. And he does a fantastic job being a racist asshole.
Yay.
Alan Tudyk's like the best villain.
Racism.
He was on Dollhouse. He was a great villain there. He was in ODST, played a good guy. He played a good guy in Firefly. What else have I seen him in? He's a good actor. Nathan Fillion, Alan Tudyk, and Adam Baldwin are like the three. Like, I would see them in anything. I would go see anything, play any game just to see them work together, because they worked great. The dynamics between them on Firefly were great, and the dynamics between them in ODST were great. They're just a great... They work well together, they sound well together, they're just a good group of people to do shit with.
Yeah, for me, it's the whole cast from Star Trek The Next Generation. I love all of them. Especially John Delancey. He's great.
Who's the guy who did the Star Trek movies? He's doing the next Star Wars movie? I should know this.
Something with a J. Someone with
J.J.
a J.
Abrams.
J.J. Abrams.
J.J.
There
Abrams
we go.
should go do a real Halo movie, and he should take Nathan Fillion, Alan Tudyk, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing his last name wrong, and Adam
And
Baldwin.
he should never make a Star Trek movie ever again.
The one we watched at Christina's house was pretty good, actually. I went home and I rented it.
It's an okay movie. It's not a good Star Trek anything.
I liked it. I'd never seen anything from Star Trek before that moment.
Yeah, so I can understand why you would like it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. That made me want to watch other Star Trek, and then
But that movie is not like Star Trek. It's not.
So I was going through my brother's room the other day. His room is a pigsty. So I was cleaning it and stuff. I found $1,000 in gift cards in his room.
Oi. Did you steal them?
I was tempted to, and I was like, not worth it. And then not all for one thing, like across the board. I already stole like $25 from him recently to buy the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack.
But if you'd stolen like one of the gift cards, he would have never have known.
I mean, I think I could steal all $1,000 of gift cards, and I still think he wouldn't notice. All I would have to do is, like, unclean his room, and he'd never find any of that ever again. To be fair, he never found it in the first place. I want a finder's fee, 10%. I want $100.
Charge interest.
There you go.
25%.
I'll tell him in like 3 years.
So you owe me 9,000%. Ooh, that's bad.
That's not good for you. Tell you what, I'll bring it down to like $1,000. Sound good? Good. Yeah. I want to talk about my favorite memory from Marlboro High School. Because the district, FRHSD, recently changed all the screens and stuff. Like, they changed a lot of the background and software and stuff recently. So, whenever your home school is, that's your background by default on your computer whenever you log in, and you can't change it. And because I went to Marlboro High School for a year, my fucking default background is Marlboro High School logo. It sucks, because then everyone's always asking me why the hell my logo is Marlboro High School. I'm like, I didn't go here freshman year, that's why none of you know me. Sod off, you motherfucker. But I want to talk about like my favorite memories from Marlboro High School. I've got a couple, but my favorite memory. So I'm walking down the hallway, right? To go to probably to orchestra class or something like that. So I'm walking down the hallway, and Marlboro High School has 2 vice principals, and one of them's kind of short, and he was poking some student in the chest or whatever. He was like getting up in his face, and he was like yelling at him and stuff. And the student, I would assume he'd be probably a senior, maybe a junior. Picks him up by his shoulders or whatever, like the outside of shoulders, throws him against the wall, goes, "I'm sick of your shit," throws him on the ground and walks out of the school. And I was like, alright, that's interesting. This is an interesting, this is an interesting place. Lots of interesting things happen here. Like when that kid broke the shatterproof glass with his hand.
Yes.
That was another good day.
He's back, by the way.
Did he ever leave?
He left for a while, and now he's back.
Oh, well, I'm not there anymore.
Yeah, I don't have any favorite memories. Actually, my favorite memory from that school so far is probably Mr. D. Last year. These kids were like banging on some drums, and they said like something to the effect of like, "Oh, these drums are so cool, but it sucks that you can't really do anything with them." So Mr. D hears this, and he walks up to the drums, says like, "Move aside," and he starts like just rocking out on the drums, doing all this different crazy shit with his hands, makes all this awesome music and stuff. And then he's like, "Did you see that?" And then he walks over to like where the other percussion instruments are. He gets a triangle, and he starts playing the Pink Panther theme on the triangle. And the whole point of it was, it's like, it doesn't matter what instrument you have, you can make music with anything.
I want to learn bass guitar just like from watching Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I want to learn like all of the bass lines for that movie.
Yeah.
That'd be satisfying. I also want to learn how to play the cello again. I completely forgot everything. I don't even remember what the strings are called. I just remember there's 4 like main holds and maybe a 5th one. It's bad, Colin. I'm really sad that I don't know how to play anymore.
Well, I have my cello upstairs. We could go over it. But
nah. I'm gonna use the excuse of my hand is messed up right now. My mom's gonna kill me when I get home when she finds out I took my knife to your house, because she asked me like twice, maybe 3 times. I really hope she doesn't look for it.
You want one of my gloves?
I mean, sure.
Oh wait, I don't have spare gloves, damn it.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna take the bandage off before I leave and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, wash the blood off. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about her, like, if there's a cut on my hand, I could just say, like, me and you were messing around with some kitchen knives, like, making some food or whatever. Or, like, I was fucking around with the scissors. But, if she looks through my room, because she said she was going to look through my room for my knife. I don't know if she's going to have time to do that, though. She's volunteering at some event. So if she has time to do it, I could have a problem. I already have a problem, you know what?
Yeah, she finds out that we've actually been murdering people, sacrificing people to our pagan gods in order to get the website working. It hasn't worked out yet, but been trying.
At this rate,
That's
it's never
actually
going to.
how he cut his hand. He was bullshitting you, and we've been sacrificing people.
Remember when I yelled, he's got a bomb or something, like he's got a gun, and you said you can't say that here, and I said it's the internet, it's not a public place, and you said the internet's the most public place on the planet? That is the worst possible thing. That is 1,000 times worse than me shouting, he's got a gun. That's like, yeah, we kill people for fun. We don't actually do that.
Shh, they don't know that.
Cops are gonna fucking show up my house now. No, AJ's house. That's where it comes from. Alright, we're good. We're good.
She's gonna be like, excuse me, sir, have you sacrificed any people lately? And AJ's gonna just be like, what?
Dude, they're gonna look at AJ and be like, never mind. Like, they're not gonna ask questions, they're gonna look at him and be like, never mind, sir. We don't have any questions for you.
Okay.
I love AJ. He might not be too happy. Oh, hey, AJ. Actually, AJ's gonna be putting this up on the website.
Hi, AJ.
Sup?
We totally didn't scapegoat you for our sacrificial packs. You know.
He's gonna take this out. This is all just gonna get deleted.
Not if I can help it.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to, I will fuck him with a lead pipe.
That might stop him. Alright, vamp for a minute while I find the list. Found it. Don't need to vamp anymore.
Yay! I did good.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you may...
The pencil's covered in butter.
That's alright, I'll deal with it. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you remember from podcast 1 and anything else you've listened to, we have a segment of the podcast that we do kind of the middle, kind of the end. It's called Colin Explains Sports. There you go. And this week... Alright, the Olympics are over, right? So we don't have to talk about any of the bullshit Olympic sports.
Yay! I didn't talk about them anyways. I talked about midget tossing.
I'm looking for a good one. Vamp for a minute. Let's tie one into this week. We're gonna do this week on Colin Explains Sports. Drum roll, please. Knife throwing.
Yay!
Completely tie in the dumb things I do in my free time. So, Colin, why don't you walk us through knife throwing?
Okay, so knife throwers are big, grizzly motherfuckers that just, they mine the metal of the earth, and they live out in log cabins in the woods, right? This might sound crazy, but just follow me here for a minute. They live out in log cabins in the middle of the woods, and they create their own forges with which to create the perfect knives. And then they get together every year at, the center of all knife throwing. The center of all knife throwing activities, which is, Glasgow. Glasgow, Ireland.
What the fuck?
Side note, there's also a side event where everybody, gets a mannequin head and does Glasgow smiles in it. It's a great event. Very lovely. And, but back to the point. So they get together with their big, grizzly Nordicness, because knife throwers are all Nordic. Actually, no, they're all Irish. All knife throwers are Irish. Axe throwers are the ones that are all Nordic and Canadian. So, they get together in Glasgow, and they have this big tournament where they throw a bunch of knives at people. And I watched them last year, and it was bloody. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, you might have looked this up already, as I've been saying this, and you're like, bullshit! There is no such thing as a knife-throwing tournament. Well, see, what happened at the last games was, somebody wanted to do this trick where they throw a bunch of knives up into the air and they rain down on a bunch of targets. It's not Glasgow. So, they rained down on a bunch of targets, right? And that was the guy's basic idea. Well, I think you know how that's going. I think you understand where this is going. Yeah, the knives, as you expect, landed in a bunch of civilians instead. And, but the funny thing is that the knives didn't land in, like, their skulls or anything. They landed directly in their shins. All of their shins. Each and every single one of them. So his aim was actually really good, just for the wrong thing. And after that, the Glasgow tournaments have been cancelled. And that's the whole story behind that. And that's all I have to talk about knife throwing.
You didn't do like a British voice.
I don't want to.
This has been the less enthusiastic version of Colin Explains Sports. We should probably explain why we're not very enthusiastic today about stuff. Even though we are kind of enthusiastic, but like, why we're not as...
Because we've been taking the high school proficiency assessment.
Oh, that wasn't going to be my reason, but yeah, fuck the HESPA. HESPA can go fuck itself in the asshole. Violently with a lead pipe.
Indeed. Or a dragon dildo.
So I put together Bob over the weekend. You know what Bob is? He's my bug out bag.
Bug out bag?
It's a bag in my closet that if I need to leave my house in a hurry, for whatever reason, I can just grab it and run. It's got like everything I need to survive for about 3 weeks.
Oh.
Besides food and water.
Well, that's important.
I'm not going to put food and water in there, though. Like, you know, food is perishable and water, I don't feel like putting it in a canister or whatever. This is our schedule for the next month. 2 months. It's pretty fucking packed. This next month and 2 is gonna suck. So I redesigned, so I am a Boy Scout, and last night we were talking about our flag and stuff and how we have no idea where it is and we have not seen it for several months. So I was like, hey, let's redesign our flag. We came up with, this is the most productive meeting I've ever been to. We came up with 8 designs by the end of the night. All of them drawn by me.
Damn.
We had some pretty good ones. The original one was the Junior Senior Petrol.
Petrol.
Instead of patrol, it's petrol. And it's an old guy with Gandalf's staff and a backpack. And it's petrol on like different letters, got different things. Like there's the tilde over the end. It was really funny. And then we just kind of went overboard from there. We have the Senor Patrol Jack. I'm not really sure what that's a reference to. We have the Senor Patrol, the Mexican theme, where it's like our logo's a hat, a sombrero, with the guacamole sombrero. It's made out of like chip and stuff. and then we hit the Fiending Ficus Patrol flag. Fiending is having like great want or lust for something, particularly sex or drugs. And while we were in one of our trips, we went around and we kept calling each other Fiending Ficuses. For no reason in particular, besides we were bored. So we did that, and we have a
like when I call people heretics.
Yeah, and we have a 7 a.m. glaze it up with a picture of a donut in the center. That was pretty funny. That's just because we wake up at 7 a.m. every day, like for the troop. And then we had we made a road sign image, and it said "Danger Zone ahead," and there's a highway in the middle of it. Highway to the Danger Zone. That was kind of like our unofficial theme during that same trip. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, we got a lot of, I guess, if you're listening, if there's anybody listening and you want to vote for your favorite one, fucking go for it. What do I give a shit?
Make your own poll and fuck off.
No, let's write in the comments. This will hopefully be up soon.
Then we have to actually go through the comments, which could end in one of us getting killed.
I have a job for Jason.
No, don't send poor Jason. I need him. Let's send Sam.
There you go.
No, let's send Eric.
Oh my god. Eric's a mute. He would never be able to figure out what they're saying. He'd be like, yeah, the comments said some words and stuff.
Fuck, cunt, douchebag, motherfucker. YOLO swag.
Hey, you leave the YOLO alone.
Bitch hacks titty whores 2012.
Oh my god, do you like every 4-year-old ever?
I'm every Call of Duty player ever.
So, we should probably talk about the Call of Duty thing that happened at Eric's house. So Eric's birthday was recently, a couple weeks ago, and we got over on Friday at his house, and he was like, we're going to do a video game tournament, which, by the way, he never finished. He decided we were going to finish it next year on his birthday.
Yeah.
Which is never going to happen.
Nope.
So he decided he's going to pair everyone up with people who are about the same skill in gaming, but people who have the same skill in gaming on different platforms, and then he's going to pick a game that they're both bad at. So he put me and Sam both in Call of Duty. I loathe Call of Duty. Sam just doesn't understand how to play a first-person shooter. I managed to win, but not by a lot. It was pretty funny.
But the really funny part is that it was set for like 1,000 kills or whatever.
I think it was 3,000. It was bad.
And they just ran around the map and couldn't find each other for like 5 minutes at a time. It was so funny.
And then at some point, I got in a house, and Sam just kept, I just kept killing Sam as he walked up to the house, tried to run and stuff. And then, he'd go in the house, and I'd, knife him and stuff. And he just kept getting killed. And he kept spawning in the exact same spot, so I just, run back over the window and shoot him as he popped up. It was back and forth. It was pretty fun.
That was on Nuketown.
That was not on Nuketown. That was the map before Nuketown. Nuketown, we just kept spawning in the opposite house. I think he might have won that one, too.
No, the nuclear bomb won that one.
Oh, right. So, in the fight between the...
Congratulations, you killed him more times. Now die.
So, in the fight between the German missile and the single American battleship during Pearl Harbor, the German missile won that one. That's odd. So shout out to really bad history. So we've been going for a good 50 minutes. AJ doesn't like our podcast to go too long. And you know what? We actually ran out of things to talk about. We're just talking about, we're just shooting the shit. But this is a lot of fun. And we're going to get the podcast out a lot more regularly.
Hopefully.
Hopefully this will be up on the website by Saturday. And then after that, we're doing one the following Friday. So that might be out Saturday or Sunday. And then after that, it should be pretty consistent. For a while at least. And then for those of you who want to stalk us, so Colin and I are the hosts.
We should make a Twitter.
That's Mike's job. I'm actually going to talk to him
Okay
about that.
then.
So for all you who are stalking us, so the entirety of March, me and Colin are going to be the co-hosts and stuff. And then April 5th is my last podcast for a while. And then Colin's going to be flying solo for the rest of April.
That's going to go swimmingly.
I might come back on the 26th, depending on how far we are, because we need to finish up we're going to start and finish the Team Wiggly Machinimation over the course of 3 weeks. That's the entire Machinimation for a 7-act show. We might have to, we'll probably combine a couple acts, make the episodes a little longer and stuff, but that's I'd say a good 3 hours of content total, when we're done making all of it. You say?
Yeah.
So that's the entire machinimation of 3 hours. And that means we need to build the maps for it, record the actual machinimation, work at the bugs, reshoot some of the machinimation, whatever we did wrong, then do it all again because we weren't capturing the first time. That's exactly how it's going to go. Exactly how it's going to go. We're going to forget the first time.
I like how you already know that.
I'm not stupid. Building the maps is going to be a bitch for that. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing else to talk about. Keep checking our Facebook page. We'll post when we have a website up.
Wait, do we have an actual Facebook page or just a Facebook group?
We have a Facebook page and a Facebook group. You cannot join the Facebook group, internet, unless you're listening and you're already part of the Facebook group, which in that case you're exempt from that. Here, let me show you. All right, while I show Colin.
Unless you're a special person, which you're probably not.
All right. All right, bye guys.
Goodbye.
Bye. Fuck off. Did it not stop?
You did it wrong.
Fuck. All right.